very good morning to all of you, and yes, good morning to you also, Anpurna. A very big thank you to actually come over today and walk us through in terms of the MIS aspects. So this is a continuation of yesterday. So yesterday we had Mr. Eliyarasan explain how to configure and go about in Tally. So today, yeah, in fact, yesterday what I was telling was, the equation of garbage in, garbage out. If we put garbage into Tally, garbage is what you get. I don't think any of us should blame Tally for that. The quality of data that goes into it is directly proportional. I'm just repeating what I said yesterday. Is directly proportional to what is the kind of information or report that you can get. But yes, once we are sure that the data that has gone in is appropriate, is accurate, is precise, then the quality of reports, be rest assured, Tally is continuously focused on making it more user friendly and bringing more and more value to our businesses. So that objective is kind of is a surety. I was telling you yesterday also, my interactions with Mr. Bharat Goenka confirms that. Okay, data, we understood yesterday the data capture requires a lot of discipline. Today we'll understand once we have become disciplined on those aspects, how is it that we can really get reports out of Tally to help us in our decision making. The requirements of the management, the requirements of the businesses are changing. They are dynamic. Today, of course, as Prithvi was mentioning, in these uncertain times, uncertainty is what is certain, right? The kind of data, the kind of reports that we will require on a day-to-day basis is also changing. So how can we make use of Tally to start analyzing all these aspects is what we are going to hear from Annapurna today. Annapurna, over to you from here. Thank you very much to come on this webinar today. Over to you, Annapurna.
Thank you so much, Mr. Badrinath, for such a putting the pace and setting the momentum for today's session on the topic what we have discussed. Business, people, so that it can help the business community to take the critical decisions, at this point in time. I also thank Bangalore Chamber of Industry and Commerce and Tally Solutions for inviting me over here. So without taking any much time further, we will just quickly get into the topic for the day. I just need to minimize this. Just give me a second. Yeah, got it. So change is the order of the day, and as rightly said, nothing but change is constant. So that being the case, how do we adopt ourselves into these changing circumstances? And today we live in an era of information overload. We have so much of information coming in, but what information do we pick from, and what is the source, and how do we analyze it, and how do we arrive at the crucial business decisions? So especially since most of the businesses are quite akin to using Tally, which has been a very popular accounting software, especially for the MSME sector. So that being the case, we thought running through some of the options available in Tally to generate some management information system reports, so that how from the data available in the system, meaningful analysis can be made and appropriate decisions could be taken. So we would be covering the critical MIS reports, that is the management information system reports, inventory related MIS, sales purchase related MIS, receivables payables related MIS, financial statements, in fact, how we can do a small trend analysis of the financial statements, and tax information related MIS. So these are the broad categories of the MIS reports we will be dealing with today. and what are the critical business decisions which we can make using this MIS report. Come inventory, the procurements and even the disposals are very critical. There was quite a rigorous lockdown we have seen for the past 1.5+ months. So that being the case, almost nearing 2 months, I can say, that being the case, especially if the goods have a defined shelf life, and what is the decision that needs to be taken with respect to the same. So this shelf life analysis, even the fast moving, slow moving analysis, in these tough times of which the businesses are undergoing. So these are some of the decisions which might be critical with respect to inventory. So what are the inventory MIS reports which we can get from Tally, which can help us, collect the information in a manner which can, give us a summary and exceptional reports kind of a content, so that based on that we can take the further decisions that may be required. Now, coming to the sales and purchase related MIS, again we can do a monthly trend analysis, which is possible. We have a couple of features in Tally with which we can do it, and we have a lot of columnar reports which are available, where multiple columns can be inserted based on the data keyed in, and based on that every screen of Tally allows us to export it to Excel. So a good combo of Tally and Excel can definitely give us the expected results to a great extent, what information we are looking for. So we will even run through some of those screens and how to extract certain critical information from that. Then we have this receivable payables related MIS. I'm sure that the whole cycle of receivables payables has got a big hit, because so it is a cycle which needs to be rotating, and if it becomes constant, or it gets stopped for a while or gets slowed down for a while, the impact is really going to be big. So how do we manage this? How do we prioritize? How do we analyze whom to make the first payments and all that? So we have the receivables and payable MIS which we can obtain. So, and then we have the financial statements, be it the profit and loss account or the balance sheet. Again, we have certain options which help us to do the trend analysis. Like I can pick it up for a last year, say, last few months, month-wise analysis I can do. I can even extract the previous year's reports and compare it with the current year, data. All these ratio analysis and trend analysis can be done based on the reports generated from Tally, exported into Excel. All this we can play around with the possibilities. Then we also have these tax information related MIS. We get the statutory reports through Tally. Using this, we can actually decide upon, in fact, as part of the COVID relief measures, government has provided relief to majority of the GST registered persons to defer their payments till last week of June. Of course, there is a staggered due dates which are specified depending on the turnover criteria, depending on the state to which you fall, and all of that stuff. So one needs to, in fact, go through it and understand, depending on their previous year turnover as well as the state which they belong. So for Karnataka, it's generally 22nd for below 5 crore, and above 5 crore it is 20th itself. So that being the case, on analysis, there are the new compliance dates. It's only a relaxations in the form of a late fee waiver and interest waivers which have been provided. So what point I'm trying to make is, in case of the turnover is above 5 crores, there is an interest in the form of reduced interest, that is 9%. So one might require to do a comparative analysis. If bank rates are 11%, they might well pay 9% on the GST rather than using the bank finance and fund the payment of taxes. So these things. So, but you would require to know that monthly what is the tax outlay which is going to be there, how much of the credits are needs to be claimed. All this summary level information you might be interested as a business to know month-wise. So that information also can be obtained, and corresponding decisions could be taken. Again, the input tax credit reconciliation is a very, very critical part, especially from the post October 2019. So since the law has changed and certain specific rules have been inserted requiring the same, of course there has been a relaxation again provided for this COVID times, that a cumulative two-way reconciliation could be done from February to August, and any effect of such cumulative reconciliation can be provided in the September month returns. But nevertheless, doing these reconciliation is definitely a requisite factor. So moving ahead, in fact, if we look at the data types, we can say that broadly our data can fall into any of these things. Structured data, structured, columnar, pre-designated, predefined data, which is easily readable and understandable. Semi-structured, it's partly structured and partly not structured, so it's a semi-structured. And unstructured, it's just there. You have to bring it into a proper format and then try to analyze further. So, but since anybody using software, I would presume more or less, if they follow the thumb rules of appropriate configurations and corresponding data capture is appropriate, then definitely we will get the outcome as almost the structured data, and analyzing it would be much more quicker and easier. So as far as this data analysis is concerned, at the management level or at the business level, one would be interested to see the summary level information, and sometimes we might require a macro view, while sometimes we might be interested to go into the micro level aspects of this. I mean, that's the beauty of Tally. I would say that from any transaction you can drill down, drill down, drill down, and reach to the particular transaction. From any report you generate, you get a summary information, and just on clicking enter, you just go and reach out to the particular transaction. I think that's a macro micro perspective enablement is very well taken care in Tally, so we can definitely make use of it. And then based on our analysis, we will definitely have some findings. That findings will give us the basis for decision making. Now, coming to the inventory MIS reports, in fact, Tally has completely, I can say, near comprehensive, utility of configuring the inventory related information as to whatever is required, and multiple master creation is possible from the inventory perspective as well. So coming to the MIS reports, I think the top MIS reports one would be looking for with respect to inventory, especially during these times, is shelf life analysis. If the product is perishable, or even in case of where like medicines or something like that, wherever it has a shelf life or it has a expiry date for that matter, one might be interested to see, are there really very old stocks which needs to be disposed of, and what is the corresponding impact? Even from the GST context also, if we look at, if any stocks are written off or disposed of, even input tax credits needs to be reversed in that context. So what is the impact on the business due to these aspects? One might be interested to look into this. So shelf life analysis could be one of the aspects. And another thing is inventory procurements and disposals. Like a business might be interested to take decision of I mean what is the inventory that is moving quickly, and hence what are the orders or the procurements which I need to make, and also are there something which I want to offer it as a discount and sell it off, so that I get some working capital, and also I can be done away with that old stock item which I might not be expected to having. I mean, where demand might not be there, especially in this critical time. So these critical inventory related decisions we might be interested to get in. And also the fast moving and the slow moving movement analysis of inventory can also be a point where businesses might be interested to look at it. In fact, it is very much a prerequisite that you have to enable. Hello. Hello. Yeah, it's a prerequisite that in Tally, one has to enable integrating accounts and inventory. That is, accounts with inventory has to be enabled so that the requisite reports can be obtained appropriately. So it would be a very good practice to enable inventory and accounts. So this is how we do it. In the configurations tab, we can just click on that, accounting features in the gateway of Tally. We have this F11. Once we click that F11, we have this accounting features. We need to enable this. These are the basics though. So then on enabling, we get something called as inventory features. We have to select here as integrate accounts and inventory. And once we do that, we get a menu called inventory info where all masters can be created. It's critical that, we should know that the grouping masters all are created appropriately, so that what reports we need, we might be requiring group wise reports. If only directly items are created, again it will be a manual exercise where we have to group it according to a particular aspect. So it is very much pertinent that at the time of master creation itself, we understand the business needs and do the groupings accordingly. Even, it might be like, let's say for example, we might have multiple varieties of rice as our as our SKU, but we might want to have it as like two groups, not just one group. Branded rice, we want to have it as a branded rice group category, and unbranded rice, we want to have it as unbranded rice group category. Again, in branded rice, we might have multiple brands which we might be dealing in. Again, in unbranded rice, we might be dealing from many vendors, and we might want to create those SKUs accordingly. So defining the requirements at the time of master level creation itself will go to a great extent of giving us a ready-made report. Otherwise, if we at the time when we need those reports, if we start trying to analyze the data, a lot of manual efforts and human intervention would be required, and the report generation and accumulation of the information, merging things, all this might take some more time and delay in the process. It can happen. So the whole idea is, as far as in the inventory information is concerned, we have multiple masters which needs to be created. One is a stock group, then we have the stock item, the specific stock item. So we just have taken this example, and we also would be interested to create a unit of measure. A small example has been given, it can be bags or anything. We can use a formal name and a symbol as well, and also as per the UQC, that is the unit quantity code. In fact, the GST reports or the GSTR1 also requires this UQC to be captured. So as rightly said, the key is at the initial stage itself, capturing everything as required and not at the struggling at the output level. So that being the case, we can configure these things as we require, including the unit of measure. Now, once we have configured and appropriate data entry has been made, we get a feature called stock summary in Tally in the gateway itself. Now, if we click on F12 after selecting that stock summary, we get something called a window like this. We can enable the opening balance, goods inward, goods outward, and closing balance. If all these four things, and if we want the quantity, rates, and values also to be shown, we can even incorporate that as well, so that in one report I can get all the multiple information whatever is required. In fact, there are other options also. We can just explore and see whatever is required. If we want to expand all levels in the detail format, even that we can do it. So this is just the one very interesting feature about Tally is that every screen has a configuration possibilities. Like if we explore on F11 or F12, wherever is applicable, we can in fact explore all these possibilities and see that, okay, these are all the features which are available. Let me see whatever is useful for me. So once we do this, we get information like this. Item wise, what is the opening balance, what is how much purchase did I make, how much sales did happen, and then even the closing balance. And again, the speciality here is macro and micro view. Again, this is a macro view, that is for the whole year we are getting it. Once I click on a specific item, I can even drill down to micro level to the transaction level. On clicking it, I get a month-wise report, like which month, what is the opening balance, inwards, outwards closing. And also, if I want to check on a specific transaction, then even I can do that. So here we have enabled quantity, rate, and value. If we are even looking for how much is the quantities I have bought and at what rate I have bought, and what is the price presently today, all these, if we get this information, it is up to the users to look into as to, okay, what all I can make meaning out of these reports. It again depends on business to business as to what is my requirement and what information, meaningful information can I get out of it. Now, apart from that stock summary, we have also in the display menu. So in fact, in the gateway, you have an option called display. Once we go into that display menu, we have two segments where we can access something called as inventory books and also statement of inventory. First, we will look into inventory books. So once we go into this inventory books, we get something called a stock item, stock group analysis, stock item, group summary, stock transfers, physical stock register, movement analysis, aging analysis. I mean, most of my inventory related MIS reports I get in something called as inventory books. If I'm looking at stock item, I can, a particular item I can check how much it has, a specific item I can get the particular information, when, what it has been sold, a neat report we get it, and even group wise summary if we want, even that we can get it. Stock transfers and physical stock transfers, if there are, if there is an assembling process which is happening where some inputs are getting converted into some other process happens and an output is generated, the physical stock register and the stock transfer journals and all can be identified to check on those reports. Movement analysis, I was discussing about fast moving and slow moving aspects, so that can also be done. Aging analysis based on the purchase date, if everything is tracked appropriately, we can get to know how old is a particular item. So it's a very wonderful report which we can get through these. And under movement analysis, we have further options which are available: group wise analysis, item wise analysis, all these things. And if we go into this stock statements of inventory, so I was showing that there are two segments. If we go into the statement of inventory, we can even put a query regarding this particular stock item, including the cost estimation. So these are some of the options which are available, which businesses can further explore. Now, coming to the sales or purchases related MIS reports, we can, if we have grouped appropriately, like say state wise information or customer wise information I want, supplier wise summary, taxability wise summary, all these information can help me take decisions, so that if I want to offer a particular discount to a particular customer, I might be interested to see that how much this customer has bought in the near recent times or whatever for a particular period. So what we can do is, there are registers which are available in Tally. We will see that we can extract columnar data and then export it to Excel and use pivot table. In minutes my data can be ready as to what all information I'm seeking. So once we go to the sales register menu, in fact in the accounts display, once we go into the display accounts, and then we get a sales register, purchase register, journal register, debit note register, credit note register, all these registers we get. On drilling it down further, we can select for a particular month or any particular period. Here, if we look at the right side, we have something called as F5 columnar. If we enable that, we get a menu like this. What all further information you want? Do you want the GST number? Do you want the narration to be shown? Do you want the PAN information? All this port code, shipping bill, whatever you require, you can enable it and then you can export it to Excel. Similarly, in the purchase register also, we have the same columnar reports which we can export. And once we export, we get a content like a columnar content of all the information. Maybe I can just quickly run you through that. So this is a sales register exported in the columnar format. So So many columns are available. Here I have the party name. So I can actually put a pivot table. Let's say I want to know how much a particular person has bought. How much of quantity he has bought. So we can get a count of the transactions. Let's say I want to get the sales value. I can even get that. So we will have to change it to value. So now I get to know how much customers have bought under this category. So likewise, any information, any summary kind of an information we will be able to get. So we can export this content, which will appear as I shown, as I demonstrated. And using some of these features in Excel, we can actually get the multifarious reports which we are looking at. Now coming to this receivables and payables related MIS reports. I would be interested to look at my receivables aging and payables aging, especially receivables aging. Maybe if we are presenting statements, we have obtained any cash credit facility or overdraft facility, and our payables and our receivables are hypothecated, as part of the security. Then banks will be interested to get that receivable. So we have that facility in Tally. Similarly, come GST, if we delay the payment to our creditors above 180 days, then owing to the legal requirements of the GST law, we need to reverse it with interest. So we need to maintain something called as bill tracking, which is again a prerequisite. If we do not do a bill tracking, then again getting these reports will be very, very difficult. I think some of these things can be adopted, and even reverse work for that matter if it is really critical. Else, at least, since this year has begun just a couple of months ago, so we can actually start implementing from this year onwards. Whenever a bill or an invoice is recorded, we get to, even for that matter, payment and receipts for that matter, we get the 4 options in Tally. Is it a new reference? Is it against a particular reference? Or is it an advance amount? Or is it on account? So let's say first an invoice is raised, then the payment is received. So that being the case, one has to select something called as new reference, and on receiving the payment, that payment should be tracked to this invoice so that we know which bill is pending. So again, how we key in the information, that will be the mode in which we can extract and generate the reports. Let's say the party is first paid as advance and then an invoice is raised. So at the time of recording the receipt voucher, we need to record it as advance. And at the time of generating an invoice, that invoice will be tracked against this advance, and we will know against this invoice how much is the value due how much it is. Suppose I don't know, I need to track all these things. I want to finish up my data entry quickly. So I may be interested in choosing an on account which will not track any of these things, and it will be just the transaction will be recorded. So preferably using this first 3 options is always a better way, so that aging reports can be generated. So once this is done, what we get here is, in the creditors aging, we have to go to this display statement of accounts and outstanding. Payables, if we look from there, if we have a specific group of creditors for which we need to generate this report, we can select that particular group and we get a report something like this. And then we can use the method of aging, whether it is by bill date or due date. So if we are giving 15 days of credit, maybe we might want to analyze post the due date how many days are pending. So then I can even say like 0 to 30 days, 0 to 50 days, whatever I want, I can put in here. So I get an aging report of, creditors aging analysis report. We get it here. Here we can have a look that less than 180 days, these are the, values which are there, and more than 180 days, these are the values. So that being the case, we get to know this aging report and the which are the old dues pending can be figured out using this report. Now coming to this financial statements or the MIS reports, in fact, we might be interested to, in fact, financial statements itself is a kind of a summary information where I'll get to know how much is my sales, how much is my purchases, what are my direct costs, what are my indirect costs, how much is my GP, the gross profit, and how much is my net profit. But I might be interested to know, like, okay, this month it is so. What was in the last month? What was in the last quarter? I want everything in one screen for an easy comparison. And I also want to do a trend analysis, how much downfall has happened, or or which product, or which particular sales head is dropping, whether intrastate sales or interstate sales. I might want many kind of information which I might be interested to look into. Now, there is something called as this, in the P&L, screen display, there is something called as this new column, alter column option. Now, what is this? If you look here, this, P&L report is for 1st January to 31st January. Now, if I want to add another month, let's say I want to compare from January sales with February and also with March, we can do that. So I've taken an example of, okay, so I want to add another column that from February to March, how much sales has happened. So I have added this column, and then I'm getting two columnar reports here. So I can do a comparison. Okay, so for Jan month it was 1.66. For Feb and March together it is 3.21. I've just put 2 months together. We can put it month wise, quarter wise, however we want. In fact, we get a direct report here, and we can export it to Excel and even play around with it. So this is a comparison report where columnar, month wise or period wise, even for a day wise, you can get a report. All these things are possible using this new column, alter column, delete column option. We can do this. This is for the profit and loss account. Now this is for the balance sheet. Similarly, as on a particular date, as on 31st January, I've generated these. Maybe we can even do a Alt F1 over here and expand the content. And from again for the March month closing I want, so I get a comparative over here. So these were, this was a small demonstration of how we can do a comparative analysis or trend analysis for month-wise, using tally features in the profit and loss account statement as well as balance sheet. Now, coming to this tax-related MIS reports, in fact, as I was explaining, since there is this 9% option, businesses might be interested to see why should I pay 11% on my CCOD. I draw that money and pay it off, or rather I will use that time till 24th of June, whatever has been provided, and then pay off my taxes at that point in time. Anyways, late fee has been waived till that point in time for even above 5 crore turnover category. So that being the case, I might be looking at, getting the information as to for March month, April month, May month, what are the tax outlays which are required, like how much of tax expenditure is there for me, and also for the GSTR 2A reconciliation, I might require some of the reports. So here we have the GST related information. My 3B summary, if I go to the statutory reports, I get a 3B summary of here. So this is the condensed version. I can get to know, okay, for the month of March, this is my sales. This is my tax on sales. I have some 23 lakhs of output tax collected. I have some ITC of around 14 lakh rupees. So I need to pay a balance of roughly around 14 lakhs on the tax part. So I might be interested to see, okay, 9%, how much it works out to, or if my bank funding do I have a good balance, or do I need to overdraw? All these things, it might be required over here. So even I can drill down further, I can expand further, because here I get if we look in the previous screen, I get a summary information. 3.1 is a summary information. If I want to expand this and I want to see how much of taxable supplies has happened, how much of exports have happened, how much of exempted supplies have happened, how much is the reverse charge implications, and how much is the non-GST outward supplies, all this drill down information I also can get to the statutory reports at one click of reaching over here for a particular month. I can put any range also for this data. If I want to analyze for 15 days, I can do it for 15 days, or I want to do it for a quarter, I can do it for a quarter. So all these possibilities are there over here. So in fact, even in the ITC part, if I expand, I'll get to know how much of ITC is there from import of goods. Has it come to my go down, or is it still in the customs warehouse? All that things, if I want to look into the aspect, so I might be interested to get this information, like how much is from the reverse charge credits, how much is all other credits. So all this information will help me get the quick summary information on these aspects. Now, there is further this reverse charge liability. It's all in the statutory reports. How much of advances have been received and taxes has been already discharged and invoices has been raised in the current month, and how much of payments or adjustments are been pending. So this summary information is really useful, especially with respect to tax matters. Now, coming to this, GSTR two-way reconciliation issue, I'm sure businesses have faced quite a challenging, challenges in doing this reconciliation, because it's never a one-time exercise. It's a continuous things you need to keep on doing, and it's a cumulative process. And that being the case, there are so many buckets to which the analysis will fall in. Again, very important, what I commonly observe is people still have the practice of recording the indirect expenses, even though they have the GST credits. They have the practice of recording it as journal vouchers. So the problem with journal vouchers is that gets posted into a separate register, and we need to again extract multiple reports and then merge it, analyze, put VLOOKUP, all those funda begins. So instead of that, if we can configure an expense voucher in the form of a purchase, variety of a voucher type, it is very easy that everything flows to my ITC register in Tally. In one register, we can get all the requisite information. I'll show. So that being the case, whenever we do a two-way reconciliation, we will face issues with mismatches like tax amount, GST number, wrong configuration has happened. For HO GST, I've put in the branch GST. All these things might have occurred. In two-way, it is coming in another GST number. Invoice number might be a variation. I might have used a slash here. There, it might have gone as a dash. I don't know. All these things might have occurred. So the result of the two-way reconciliation could be that some of the credits are there only in the portal, but I have availed in the next year. Some are there in the portal, but I don't want to avail because it is a block credit. Some, like say bank charges, I haven't claimed the credit. I've grossed up the expense in my books of accounts. Some are appearing which are not our invoice, and even some of the exempt transactions without the taxable tax amount, only taxable value might have occurred on my GSTR 2A report. So there could be mismatches in these amounts, or there could be only transactions in portal, only in books because the suppliers have not uploaded it. Maybe this could be a good point in time, since there's no much load on the otherwise transactions which is happening. Maybe good aspect to review the 2A credits and follow up with the vendors. At least for 1920, you can request them to upload it, and so that you can be eligible to claim it hassle-free without getting into any litigation. So that being the case, we can get something called as this ITC register like this. So in fact, as I was telling, that once we have appropriately configured and there are no mismatches, this will flow into my return information, where I get all the content like particulars, GST, IGST, CGST, SGST, all this information. We will get it in a columnar format, and this will help us. The two-way reconciliation will become much more easier and smoother. So as a closing remarks, I would like to put across that, as Mr. Badrinath rightly said, garbage in is garbage out. We cannot blame the systems for that. We should know what information to be keyed in so that we will get the designated outputs. We should also explore the various options available in, we might be using Tally since ages. It's a favorite software for many of the people, but we might not have explored so many features which are there in Tally. So training our team could be a very, very good idea, so that we can, upskilling is a continuous process. I mean, post-COVID, I'm sure it's been raining webinars, everybody into one or the other webinar, trying to learn this or that, whatever is interesting them. So I think that's a great idea to keep on, getting value additions to our own selves and training up our team members as well. So that is there an easier way and better way of doing what we are already doing? So I think that is a perspective which we can look at. So any questions we have, we can definitely take up, and the balance time, whatever is there, we can definitely use it up to answer any questions we have.
Thanks, Annapurna. It was very useful, especially on the the GST piece, to say that how it can be generated to use and understand and analyze from a business perspective. In fact, we also have Mr. Arvind on the discussion now. Arvind sir, are you there?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Arvind here. Sir. Yes, I've been there.
Good morning, Arvind. May I request for maybe a 5-7 minute comments from you too?
Yeah, there's nothing much from me for 5-7 minutes because I was also a participant knowing a lot of wonderful things of Tally. So it's thanks to BCIC for taking this initiative and giving the basics connect to all the participants. And as always, CA Annapurna Shrikant Madam talking about Tally is music to my ears. I've been listening to many of her sessions. So she has a wonderful knowledge of both Tally and the domain. So it's a great combination for people to listen to her. So that way, I'm very happy and thankful to both for making this happen. And as you all said that it is good to refresh. There are many basic things that will be missing out. Every business in this country will definitely take this as a chance to restart something new, something fresh. They would have got a lot of time to think, a lot of time to reconcile. So getting disciplined accounting and ensuring that the right capital is being used, the right cash flow is being used, the right data management is being done, all basics. They're all very simple, available in Tally. So even re-looking into it and starting something afresh from basic is a great thing for businesses and professionals to do. And one of an attempt to support them is this small step from Tally. We'll try to do more such seminars going forward. Tally is also talking something about coming on cloud very soon. So that seminars will also happen through BCIC. So that is it from me, Badri sir. And I would like to thank everyone on this wonderful session.
Sure. So let's take some questions to the extent people
let us have some questions then. Yes. Any questions which I can also pitch in, I'll pitch in.
Yes, you're free to put it on the chat or even unmute yourself and ask the question.
I will do that.
Anybody on the chat? Especially, the most relevant thing that Annapurna, you spoke about, which all of us should really, everybody looking at the accounting or the finance function or the reporting aspects should definitely make use of, how to review the receivables piece, because that means a lot today. Receivables as well as payables for that matter. That is where the real money is today. I mean, cash is the king, as all of us talk today, right? So that is where it is. So it is very important to be able to, use your skills, get the data entry right, understand how to generate the reports, and do that little amount of PO tables that Annapurna was mentioning, and look at the same transaction from different perspectives. That is when you'll be able to help your management with that much more information to be able to convert the receivables into cash. So also on the inventory side.
I think there are a couple of questions on the chat. Shall we take it up?
Okay. Yes, please. Yes, please. You can start on.
So, is there any course to learn Tally for non-finance people? I'm sure there would be a lot of courses, and if many people are interested, in fact, BCIC can take up the initiative to organize some short courses for non-finance people to understanding the basics out of it. I mean, just a thought process. Maybe the organizers
Sure,
Yeah,
we can do that.
definitely.
We can do that.
So what I'll do is I'll talk to Badri sir and just check something, and it can be on a very small nominal fees also, so that only interested participants will come, and we can organize some 4 sessions or 6 sessions wherein we'll talk about some basics of accounting through people, experts like Annapurna madam only, and also give some basics of tally, so that one will be in a position to look at his business from the point of accounting very well. We can do that. Sir, I will talk to you, Badri sir, on this.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Yeah.
What in the meanwhile I request all the participants is, maybe you can just drop a message to the BCIC ID. Prithvi is there, Prithvi or Rupa at BCIC. They'll collate and maybe we can see how many people are really keen on this.
Yes.
Feel free to send messages to Prithvi and Rupa.
So our input is paper, which comes in kgs, and output is number of boxes. We are finding it difficult to manage the inventory. I'm sure if you explore the stock journal option, that you should be able to do it. But if still any specific issues are there, we can take this offline. You can post us a query to the mail IDs, and we can revert back on that.
Yeah, it is not only exploring the stock journal, madam. You can also export. We have got something called multiple units options also. We have got combined unit options also. Normally, what happens is one crate of Pepsi gets into 12 bottles, and in turn it gets associated into different units. Sometimes a gunny bag of rice gets into 1 kg packets. So we have got a very powerful multiple units, connected units management system in Tally. Those articles are also very much available on Tally portal for help, and our call center will also help them to understand how these things happen. We can definitely do it. We can do it through stock journal. We can also explore the multiple unit option. This can be very well done, madam. Not an issue.
Yeah. So like people are even looking for practical explanation in the Tally software. Anyways, this point also will be noted and considered while designing the course. And can you give some more points in accounting in expense voucher? Maybe I would like to show a practical demo of it. Do we have time? I can take 3-4 minutes of time and show them.
Yeah, you can. We have time. We can go ahead. Not an issue.
Okay, fine. So just give me a minute. So most of the people, most of the times what I see is, people think that using a purchase type of a voucher, they will actually, account it under the purchases item. It is a wrong impression. See, we need to understand what is a voucher type and what is a ledger and a group. So, info, just a minute. In accounts info, there is something called as a voucher type. So if I want to create a voucher type called expense vouchers, okay, it will ask me under which type. Even the expense voucher, I want it to be in the format of purchase. So I will select this and I'll say automatic, numbering. If I want to use an advanced configuration, I can use that. We can prefix details as well. So we can say like, particular want to mention, we can mention that, and then so that it will start like that. So we have let's say I want to record, let's say consultation charges. Okay, I'll go here and I want to record this. I want to record this as, I don't know, F9 purchase. Yeah, some shortcut had an issue. So here I have expense voucher type, which I have configured. So let's say this belongs to a party called AJ Associates, and the expense type is, let's say, consultation charges. Okay, I'll just create it. This consultation charges is my indirect expenses. Okay, so I am using an expense voucher configured as purchases to record an indirect expense called consultation charges. Okay. Let's say there is GST for this. Applicable, yes. So let's say the nature of transaction is it's a purchase taxable, that is it's from a local vendor. So let's the rate is 18%. So I've configured all this. It's a service. Okay. So if I want to put in my, the GST, anyways, the consulting charges. So what I do is, and charges is 50,000. Input GST 9%. Input SGST 9%. So if I record this consultation charges in an expense voucher format instead of a journal passing, entry by passing a journal entry, this will directly, flow into my ITC register. It will be very easy for us to compare with the two-way reconciliation. So this is a small example because, since they had asked for a specific explanation, I thought rather than theoretically explaining it, practically, demonstrating is a better option. So can you explain step of when raw material in different is converted in different units of finished products, how to record its cost value? I think we can take it up, separately. To as Mr. Arvind also rightly said, there are 2-3 ways of doing it. So we can definitely take this question offline and answer it. We need a dashboard.
It is available in Tally Help.
Okay, it is available in Tally Help. Fine.
Yes.
We need a dashboard for monitoring financial performance of the company. How can you help, madam? Please suggest parameters to be monitored based on your experience. In fact, Tally is a very flexible software where customized TDLs or tools can be appended based on, because each business has a separate specific requirement when it comes to MIS. There are common information which every business might be wanting, but there are specific information which business specific and management specific. So definitely customization is possible. How to make salary slip in Tally? Add all employee data, but salary slip not generate properly. Please help. Arvind sir, any point on this?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%. We have got fairly a good payroll concept in Tally. For a basic SME business, Tally will comfortably handle both money-related issue, material-related issue, and manpower-related subjects also. So we have got a payroll subject in it, and salary slips can be printed. It needs some basic amount of configuration. If required, we can have a session for taking it forward. Help is available, and if whichever participant wants to know specific about it, please let him write a mail to you or to BCI. I will ensure that call center will talk to them and get the payslip going done. It can very well handle the entire thing. Only the income tax calculation and form 16, all those things are a little different. Your payslip, configuration of salary are very, very simply done in Tally, and a lot of people are doing it. It is very much available.
So I think we are getting closer to the time designated. So what we can do is, there are more questions coming. Keeping these inputs itself, we can design the next session if people are interested. These inputs can be taken. People want to know how fund flow can be generated and how reports can be. Some of the times when information is asked, people take so much time to generate it and provide the information. So again, I see like probably there's a gap of requirement and exploring the possibilities is not there. That could be a possible, or lack of information can also be an aspect which can be looked into.
Sure then. Any more questions that are there, please feel free to write to Rupa. Rupa shared her email ID on the chat. All of you. Yes, Anpurna, thank you so much. It was very useful. The very fact that people are asking these many questions is a reflection that there is lack of awareness at the accounting stage or maybe analysis stage in using Tally. And second is, it also reflects on the mindset which wants to use more and more functions of Tally, which is very, very welcome aspects. With this, let's maybe close for today, but we will certainly await for questions and your interest for the Tally learning for the non-finance executives that one of you did mention. As part of BCIC, be rest assured, so long as there are people asking for something, it will be done. Don't worry about that. Prithvi?
Yes, Badri sir.
Yes, sir. Over to you.
Oh. So on behalf of the Bangalore Chamber of Industry Commerce, we like to thank Ms. Annapurna Srikanth for giving this wonderful open presentation on the Tally. I think it is given a good awareness program, and we look forward to look more such events. Badri sir, thank you very much for joining in, and also Mr. Arvind sir for curating this program.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.